If you wouldn't mind just saying your name and
John Gizzi, Senior White House Correspondent for Newsmax.
is that you're still doing that?
Yes.
Uh-huh. And loving it?
And loving it.
Oh man, I'm sure it's it's the place to be, and somebody's got to do it, right? I mean, it's like
Been doing it for decades, and I look forward to doing it for more decades.
so. What's a little? I'm sure you got a lot of war stories, but what's a good anecdote for us as people that are attending this conference?
Well, I think the fact that no matter who is press secretary and behind the most famous podium in the world, you've got to cover them. And things are sometimes said from that podium which lead to bigger stories. Right now, I've been following, and have for a long time followed, the case of Paul Rusesabagina, famed as the hero of Hotel Rwanda, seized in another country and brought for trial and convicted of treason. Incredible for someone who saved the lives of 1,200 people and received the Medal of Freedom from President George W. Bush. The White House has been supportive of his release, which finally occurred this Saturday, but they won't invite him to meet with President Biden. All very strange, and I think there's a bigger story behind it.
So I guess there's always a story under the horizon, ready to come to the fore, right?
Fair.
So what do you think is the biggest story waiting in the wings right now?
Nationwide or in Pennsylvania?
Yeah, let's try Pennsylvania.
Well, obviously, the presence of Governor DeSantis here is very big news. Coming less than 48 hours after the indictment of Donald Trump, the candidate seen as Trump without the tweets is drawing a crowd of over 800 people and 63 reporters. Roman Henry, the longtime organizer of the PLC, says this is clearly the biggest event they've had so far. So I think whatever Governor DeSantis says this afternoon, we'll listen and the nation will listen.
It's interesting. I talked to somebody kind of who's a little bit of an insider in the organization, and he was saying that Trump actually was invited for this event, but he had the guy was speculating, saying that he must have known something was happening, so.
Well, one thing about Donald Trump and being a former president and the unofficial leader of the Republican Party, he gets invited to a lot of places, and he can pick and choose wherever he goes. He'll make news wherever he is, and he may accept another invitation weeks down the line, and I assure you, wherever he goes, whatever he says, it'll be news.
That's for sure. So how many, if I may be sort of candid with you, how much more time do you think you'll spend in Washington?
Well, I so enjoy what I do. It's been said that if you love your work, you're not really working. And I have enjoyed writing. I've reached a point in my career where I'm online every day with a column for Newsmax.com. I'm featured in our magazine, which comes out once a month and has more than 350,000 subscribers. I'm on television often, of course, cover the White House briefings. And separate from that, I do a radio program in Washington, 5 minutes every Saturday on WMAL. So I cover all prongs of the news industry and enjoy myself thoroughly. Why should I retire?
That's great. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
I think